What's good, everyone? Welcome to another reading. Now, today we've got a reading on a gift, and who doesn't want a gift? Especially when it's wrapped in a bow of wisdom straight from the universe. I think everyone's on the edge of their seats, probably, ready to receive their gift. Pile number ones, pile number twos, and pile number threes. It kind of is what it says on the tin today with the reading. So I'll get stuck straight into pile number ones. I've just seen person with a little puppy, pile number ones. So off the bat, you might be receiving some form of little pet or puppy. Kind of getting abstract vibes today. Let's see what comes through. What do you see and what do you feel? If I was to summarize that energy, actually, it was much more. It was giving me like Mexico vibes. Mexico, like the original Mexican people. I can't remember what they're called. It's giving me that vibe. So maybe like a trip. Are you going to Mexico? Pole ones. Do you want to go to Mexico? Yeah, there's something like you might go to Mexico, or is it a gift from Mexico? I was gonna say, is it like are you getting a gift of like maybe going out to a Mexican restaurant? But I wasn't getting food from this. It was more like, as I briefly said in the introduction, to do with wisdom or knowledge. Something more spiritual here, not just material. So look, it could be literally a trip. And if it's not Mexico, it could be like South America. Or, like something with like a Mexican flavor or something. It's funny because I said Mexican flavor and that reminds me of food again. I'm not hungry, pile number ones. I promise. If someone gave me some Mexican food, I'll definitely eat it right now, but I wasn't hungry. And what do you see? What do you feel? It looks almost a little bit like an outline of a person here, or even a spirit. It reminds me, sometimes when you see the ceremonies in the movies and they have those kind of elaborate, I can't call it costume, that's the wrong word, but like they just dress in that certain tribal way or something, it's giving me vibes like that. Some kind of like, so if it's not like a holiday or a trip, it's some form of ceremony that you might be doing, or could even be touching on like an initiation energy. Maybe if it's initiation energy, there's something to do with like you eating something. You could be like, I think ayahuasca's to drink. There may even be something that you eat or something like that. Maybe you're even just giving, maybe you're giving the gift to part number ones. I hope you're still there. Like, I'm literally just touching into the energies. It's like reading a book. Like, this message is definitely for someone out there. But it's kind of like putting the pieces together. It's like, um, so we got Mexico, right? That's underpinning or anchoring this thing. But there seems to be this kind of a little bit like this spiritual or ritual something going on. I'm thinking, why was the food coming up? And I was thinking, okay, that could be to do with the ritual, you know. It could be that you fast, or it could be that you eat something, you know. In Christianity, you know, this is my blood, this is my flesh type type energy. And I feel just like, yeah, all of these little symbols are almost like just different ancient symbols or writings that maybe form part of this ceremony. Now, it doesn't have to be elaborate, it doesn't have to be a big thing, it doesn't even have to be a very spiritual thing, pile number ones, you know. Sometimes these little rituals we do are, what's the word, like unconscious. We unconsciously do them simply by the foods that we eat daily, the prayers that we make daily. We kind of create these mini rituals. But there's something happening here, I think, where I'm almost getting the energy of like initiation, and I'm gonna stick with that, like almost underlined with Mexico or something. Maybe you're gonna be if you're not going to Mexico, because I know that's gonna be a small crowd of you who are maybe from there or are planning to go to Mexico. I feel like some of you might have like Mexican blood. But for others of you who maybe are not carrying Mexican blood, it might be to do with just research and knowledge that you're gaining, and that's going to inspire something that you do in your daily practice or in your spiritual practice. I see these almost like little tools that you're building up for this ritual, for this ceremony, for this daily activity. So, part number one, that's your reading. If you enjoyed it, please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Okay, part number two is, see what we got for y'all. Kind of abstract today. Feel like you might be farming for something. What do you see? What do you feel? Reminds me of gives me temple vibes. What do you feel, part number? What do you see and feel, part number twos? Gives me temple vibes. Gives me like, I don't think it's called the holy, I always forget the word of what that's called in the Bible. It's not the Holy Grail. But you know, something sacred could be the Holy Grail. I always forget the name of that thing. Damn. But it's something like, I feel like your gift is coming in the form of, it's like the key word here is sacred. So there's something sacred coming through. I think ironically, your pile number 2 as well, and this reminds me, if I just done a rectangle in the middle here, that would be 2. And your pile number 2. So it might be something to do with like the 2 energy here. I guess if we're talking numbers, we can't ignore the 4 as well. So there's structure here, 1, 2, 3, 4. It reminds me, so like to paint the picture, it's, you know, when, you know, there's that sacred object in the Bible that they carried around. I can imagine like a person picking this up by the 4s. Now don't get scared, this isn't like funeral energy. It's completely the wrong shape for that. It's almost, you know, if you like as well, you could say the king, you know, when the king is on the throne and they get picked up on each one of these points. But I was thinking more of an object than a person who's getting carried around like something precious. I feel also that this is found within. This is inner work. This is almost the gift here is I don't know, I'm getting the message from spirit like this is something where you've done inner work in order to become this. Pile number 2s. I'm getting like the vibes of somewhat like you've become your own trophy. So the more that you get into spirituality as well, the more you realize that we are just reflections of each other. It's almost like these 4 parts of you are carrying this royal part of you. And they're all in synchronicity. If you want some examples of how, like what I mean by this, it would be like astrology. The Leo getting the moment in the middle. And you've got probably some earth signs carrying. Or some other fire signs. Maybe the water signs are like cheering or crying at this Leo moment. Yeah, you maybe got... Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? But they're all you, so it don't matter. I'm not even going to throw shade on any signs at all, because they're all you. But, you know, it's almost like... to make sense of this, it's like you've crafted the part of you, this Leo side of you possibly, that kind of deserves this moment in one way or another. So you found balance within yourself in order to craft possibly the king or queen in you. And if it's not really the king or queen, it's, I guess you could say the empress or the emperor too. But also I'm getting, for some of you, it's going to more strike you in a way of being high priestess, high priest energy, you know? More to do with like sacred knowledge, and it's the wise sage getting carried for some of you. So yeah, that's your reading, pile number 2s. I hope you was able to get something from it, even if it was confirmation. If you enjoyed the video, please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Pile number 3s. Abstract today. Get yourself strapped in. Kind of getting kind of watery vibes actually. Any watery signs? On my Cancers. Scorpio, Pisces. Interesting, wow. Try and keep you on the page. Wow. I fucks with that a lot. Kind of spins off pile number two's a little bit. There's a sense here, a little bit of royalty. Because it reminds me of like the patterns that you get on almost those royal garments. Imagine that over and over again. And the pattern being like gold on like a red. Kind of see where, at least where I was feeling that energy. Could almost even be Asian. Pile number threes. You might have Asian features, or you might just be Asian. It's kind of getting Asian vibes. I was actually getting Asian music coming through for some reason. You know, that violin-y, stringy sound. Your gift. Kind of to bring it down into 2024. It could be going to some form of concert, some form of gift of like music, treating yourself to like a new like album, or I was actually getting vinyl coming through. You might like vinyls. I was also getting from this, basing on the start of the energy, it could be a garment. You might have a gift coming through where, so an example of this is, it might seem a little bit random me saying here that you're going to receive some new clothes. I want you pile number threes to think more in the vibration of you may come into more abundance to treat yourself to new clothes. I think that's more of a kind of a grounded statement or a realistic statement. I don't think you're going to have a knock on your door with someone randomly giving you a garment that you really want. It could happen. I'm not throwing it out the window or the door. But I feel like it's more likely going to come to you in terms of like a new flow of money maybe coming in, and you're saying, okay, I want to treat myself to X, Y, and Z. So yeah, your gift here, it feels very much based materially. I feel like pile number threes, it's quite a well-rounded energy, quite a stable energy, quite an earthy energy as well. I know I mentioned water signs at the start, but it was almost like I felt like more like you were water signs but embracing earthy energy, if that makes sense. May not, but it's kind of how I was feeling. I'd also say part number three is, just to end this, because this was a very straightforward reading. I'd say pay attention to like almost the wheel of life. It reminds me a little bit of the wheel of fortune in the tarot. But there's something here which, like for my water signs, I want you to imagine water coming down from here. And it's like if water came down, it would probably fall into here. And that would create weight. And that would make it turn. And then water will keep coming down. It reminds me of they're not like water mills. It reminds me of water mill energy. So just remember that flow, that cycle of life. it's easy to panic when you're just seeing water coming down and no movement of the wheel. But remember, that has to fill up, and then the weight of it turns it a little bit, and then the process happens again. So, for any of you who might have been in a little bit of a drought season or something like that, I feel, just remember that it's a constant wheel, right? Part number 3 is thank you for being here. If you enjoyed the reading, please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.